Hello! Good evening. How's everyone doing this morning? Morning. It's not morning. I just said evening. I just said that. Hi, Hatmaker. Hi, Lucas Johnson. Good to have you. Rudy Garcia. Hi, Ducky and Bear Bear. I like that name. Are you hyped for Splatoon 3? Of course. Maya knows gotcha. Hello. Hi, Goop God. Drew's here. Hello. Welcome the moderators, Drew and Farrell. Always here. Always can count on you guys. Hi, Irene. Hi, Brayden. Acoustical Elena, or is it Alana? Are you in Australia? That is very cool. I would like to try Splatoon out. I finally got online. Oh, have you ever played Splatoon? I'm assuming you don't own it yet? Thanks, Lucas. Very kind words. Hi, it's night in Norway now. Wow, Splastic from Norway. I'm glad you could join. Farrell saluting. All right. I haven't got a... Sorry if my eyes seem red. What the world? Usually when I take a shower... Took a shower earlier today. Usually take it at night. But Navi's here too. And Richard. Good to see you guys. Time to watch and moderate and slightly agree, disagree with points being made here. Hi, Faye. Can't say, but I thought I'd say hi and hope you have a great day. Can't wait for Skyward Sword and AOC DLC. Well, I'm glad you could say hi. It's always good to see you, Faye. Anyway, I was saying that when I take a shower, I think I have really dry skin naturally. I have to use chapstick every single day, even in the summer. I think I just have a dry skin thing going on, but I think my eyes are feeling it. I think they're feeling the dryness. Anyways, we honestly, I mean, you guys know how inconsistent Erickson Gaming is with videos. We're trying to do like a very, very, very slow transition into more casual, easier videos to put out because we're still definitely very interested in gaming. And we're still holding out for Nintendo to put up some good stuff. And I mean, in the past, I've talked a lot about Splatoon, and I really wanted to get you guys in here and just so we can talk about this and just kind of look at it. Everyone's here from not America. Where'd Richard? Okay, Richard said hello. Do they have a playlist where I can get the music that they use? The music that I'm using right now is from Stomp's playlist. It's a YouTube channel. I think the last song that was being played at the beginning was Magic Music. Best music, no copyright. So you can't get that copyright strikes. You know what I'm saying, dog? What am I doing here? Applies chapstick to eyes. Stomp's playlist. Yeah, that's the YouTube channel that we're listening to right now. I think you guys can hear the music, right? Royalty free, as it were. You're absolutely right. All right. So what I want to do is go through the trailer once more and then kind of overlook it. I have a lot of thoughts on Splatoon in general. I have a lot of thoughts on the upcoming Splatoon 3. And I'll share them. I probably have shared them already. And then I want to talk about Pokemon. The new Pokemon stuff that was shown off. Are you guys interested in that? The Pokemans? What do you guys think? What are your really brief thoughts before you even talk about it? About at least Pokemon Arceus Legends. Very curious how the Salmonid, I don't remember how to pronounce that, pet will come to play in Splatoon 3. Will there be another salmon run like game mode? I'm sure that they will they will add that. What did I miss? Sabrina, you just got here. We just started. Glad you're here. More so Arceus Legends than the Sinnoh remakes, surprisingly. Yeah, I'm hearing that lots of people are very excited to at least... I think it's because there have been a large group of people like myself just waiting for Nintendo or the Pokemon team to finally put out something that was open world exploration. Uses ATB style of battle. Yes, I want to talk about that too, dude. Oh my gosh. I just hope what they showed in the trailer and the final release are completely different. I think I can get behind that. But for now, before we get more into Splatoon, before we get into Pokemon, we're going to go Splatoon, but before we get into Splatoon, a quick, brief announcement for those of you who are just dying to see another If Link Could Talk. If Link Could Talk, Age of Calamity is currently being worked on. Andres is currently writing the script. Well, probably not at this very second, but we've discussed a few things about it, and I think he is writing it. What else was I gonna say about that? Oh yeah, Andres isn't here because he is in Florida at our cousin's wedding. I just wasn't able to make it, COVID stuff. I have a limited amount of vacation time. My sister-in-law is getting married in April, so I had to save it for that. I have a lot of kids to travel with, and that it's all adds up into not being able to work well. You look at Snap and it's fine. You look at Legends and you think, why? What do you mean, Farrell? Well, I guess we'll get to that when we do Pokemon. I'm interested to wonder what makes you say that. Oh, you're talking about the graphics. Oh, yes. Yes. Still traveling at this time? Yeah, it was for a wedding. Sometimes you gotta take a risk if you want to be there for your family's biggest events. And my brother, I was a lot older than my cousins, or at least these cousins in particular, so I never really hung out with them as much. But Andres and my other sisters hung out with them a lot more than I did. So if anyone, it would be Andres and my sisters. Yeah, I did. And I forgot that it was coming up, and it's out at 7, the Post Malone concert. That's so weird. I'm glad that Game Freak actually giving their remakes to another company. Yes. So that they can focus solely on one game. They seem to be having a change of heart and mindset. Yes. I agree, and I'm glad. They just need to polish up Arceus Legends, and it could be potentially an instant classic. I agree, dude. All right, let's get into Splatoon. Before we keep talking about Pokemon, I really wanted to talk about Splatoon first. So let's just watch the trailer again really quickly, if that's all good in the hood with you guys. Let me just turn this music off real quick. And we are going to watch the trailer once more, just to get into the mood, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully this isn't too loud. Yep. I was so surprised. I'm sure many of you were too when this part came up. For a second when I was watching this part, I thought it was a side mission or a DLC. I wonder if many of us thought that. I in no way thought they would do Splatoon 3 already. Little buddy's turn. After all the crap they've given us in Salmon Run. So I heavily assumed that all of this was getting ready to show us a new and improved single-player quest DLC. And I remember the suspense at this part was killing me, and they most likely did that on purpose because they're just sitting there. And then at this part, I thought that they had just changed the hub for whatever single player is coming up. And then the music started playing. And I was like, oh man. And then there it was. The prophecy. Now. I miss this song so much. This might be my favorite Splatoon song. That Hydra is huge, dude. Wow. Can you believe it? Hold on here. I still like how they went with the style, too, for the third game. I agree. Splatoon 3 seems unnecessary. Well, that does... It depends on why you play Splatoon, honestly. I mean, every game's going to get a sequel. Yeah, I didn't actually think this was even Splatoon related until the customization options came up. Yeah, I thought I was certain when it said not current gameplay that this was going to be a Smash announcement. I don't know if anyone else noticed, but a few months ago, Splatoon's Twitter account posted a picture of Callie, Marie, and Pearl on a holiday postcard. Captured Where's Marina, they hinted. Huh. I just noticed the markers for where you land, how you can see your teammates' markers. I hated starting out and going the same route as my teammates by accident. Really? What am I doing over here? Hold on. Oh! Skip Scap. Huh. Well, let me just overlook the trailer. I mean, we've seen many of this stuff. I just wanted to see if anything, I mean, one thing that was interesting is that they don't, you know, at first I thought that they didn't have genders, but I think the real thing is that they just give, because this is supposed to either, okay, so either this is supposed to be a male body type, which I think that's what they're going for, or you're just picking your eyebrows, because the male before had large eyebrows, and the female had smaller eyebrows. Wait a minute, go back to the part with the arrows? Wait, did I miss something? Where was that part? You trying to look at the map here? Genders are less distinct, maybe. That's probably what they're going for, because honestly, it didn't really matter. It was mostly the clothes, and people, you know, mismatched all the time. You could change at any moment, so why go the extra step when you can just change everything right away, I guess. You can see the original spawn area where you normally normal spawn after dying right there under the arrows. Oh, yeah, what the heck? It's covered. I will say, this map, and maybe this is what they're going for, at least this specific map, but it is very desolate. It is very to the point. Like, this is a PvP map, and it's nothing else. Except that it's a little bit out in the desert, and it's got these dead fish on it. Hi, Ethan. I think he means the ink bow. No, I think he means this. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. Yeah, I'm not even sure. Maybe it doesn't need anything, I don't know. Yeah, if you're gonna respawn, I'm sure it has something to do with that. Splatoon 3, more like Rat Rune Re. Let's just go through this real quick and highlight some stuff. I'm trying to think of what the little buddy could be used for. Because it didn't show anything in the PvP with him. They didn't use him in the PvP. I'm just trying to has anyone seen any theories about it? It must be primarily for the single player, if I had to guess. And she's starting out with a bow. That's so odd. If they respawned in the sky, spawn kills might be pretty annoying. Unless you respawn in the sky, and then when you jump that first time onto the map, you create like this semi-explosion around you so you can't get spawn killed. Yeah, we can see it, Sabrina. Sorry, I couldn't see that. Salmonid's probs just a campaign sidekick, yeah. Yeah, that's most likely it, but it is funny if that is the case, how he's a part of... Unless this isn't the beginning. What if you start out in the campaign? Instead of starting out in a tutorial, you start out in the campaign. That would be interesting. Also, James, you should read Splatoon's official Twitter. They posted a lot of info on the game, mostly around Splatlands. Really? Well, let's take a look at that real quick. I don't want to see some of that. Splatoon 3? Oh, sorry. No, Splatoon. Is this their official? That's the Japanese one, right? Splatoon of America? Oh my gosh, is this old? Holy crap, dude, this is old. This isn't even their official stuff. Can someone tell me what the, Is it this one? Maybe they're up and running again. When is the next FF stream? Hopefully soon. The Splatoon 1 stuff. Nintendo of America's Twitter. Let's see if anything. I'm sure the Splatoon 3 reposted stuff. Yo, this is from Nintendo's press release. Some new info. Tap in. Splatoon 3. In this new game in Splatoon series, you'll leave Inkopolis behind. And oh, I saw this. Behind to head to a new region, Splatlands. Its heart is a new city where battle-savvy Inklings and Octolings gather. Splatsville, also known as the City of Chaos. Splatoon 3 introduces various features to action shooter series. Customized weapons, da-da-da-da-da. That's not it, is it? Yo! Yeah, I don't see anything here. It must be on the Nintendo of America stuff. Oh, did you guys see this, by the way? This is not real, but it looks so good. I don't think Nintendo could make any... Like, I feel like a lot of the Nintendo Switch boxes that come out are so simple, and I don't like it. This looks so great, and I can't believe someone put in the time to make this. Cool. Capricorn 22, how's it going? All right, let's keep going here. I want to kind of go through this. I'm glad they added a bow. I remember when Splatoon 1 was still going strong. Someone leaked or had a fake leak of what was it? Maybe it wasn't a fake leak. There was a fake leak about Mario Sunshine. But there was a fan art of Link as an Inkling with a bow and arrow. Check the Nintendo for Twitter stuff. I mean, extra stuff. Let's try it. Let's check it. They probably don't tweet very much, if I had to guess. Well, I'm completely wrong. They tweet a lot. Oh yeah, all Pokemon. All Pokemans. More Pokemon stuff. Lots of Pokemon things. This is very interesting to me. Very confusing, even. I mean, are we getting to the origins of Pokemon in this new thing? Okay, yeah. Keep going, keep going. I'm not seeing it yet. Wow. Okay, but we are getting there soon, right? Guys! February 19th? Was it before this? Guys, where's the Splatoon stuff? Did I miss it? See you, Fate. On the day of the Direct? What was that date again? Wasn't that the 17th? 18th? 17th. Oh, here's some. I mean, there's pictures of the weapons. Okay, so they have the regular blaster. And then they have this thing. What? I don't understand. I'm so curious as to what, like, how much different could this thing be from that? Is it like a bigger giant explosion? I think this is just the dynamo roller. The right is the ranged blaster? So you're thinking that they are just trying to differentiate more. Less confusing than the extending thing. Chargeable blaster, imagine. Oh gosh. And then I'm certain this is the regular dynamo. And then we got the washer machine. We also spotted some special weapons in addition to a brand new one. Some seem like reconfigured versions of special weapons found in Inkopolis. How perfectly fitting for the City of Chaos. Dude, what the world? I don't think I saw this before. What the heck? I mean, and the guy's just like walking away. Or is he going into it? It's his own color, but so... Is this a special? Looks like a bomb. But it's in the context of talking about specials. Huh. A new weapon. Okay, so they're just talking about the bow. Which is really cool. What does it say about it? But it's packed with technology, including a mechanism capable of launching 3 strikes of ink simultaneously. I wonder if this will be like a in-between from chargers and splatter shots. I think they're gonna go all out and use bizarre weapon types. That's possible. We've identified 2 new ways that Inklings can move. A squid roll? Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that! I mean, I saw him do it, or the Inkling do it, but... allows them to leap and twirl out of their ink. And a squid surge allows them to quickly swim up ink-covered walls and jump out on top. Just think of how these abilities could be used in the heat of the battle. So this must be some sort of dodge mechanic, if I had to guess. And I'm assuming this is similar. Like when you, instead of coming up a wall and popping out and just dying, this must be some sort of dodge mechanic. Someone said the bow is like the roller with jumping. Now, how would that make sense? I wonder if there's going to be a risk to the squid roll. Hi, Inky. Thing is, what button is that? That's true. I wonder if you're holding... So, you go in your ink by holding ZL. I wonder if it's replacing the squid jump, or just jumping as a squid. And maybe it is a different button. Hi, Ice Cream Pig fam. Like horizontal on the ground and vertical in the air, yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. I'm glad you guys showed me this, because I actually didn't see that for some reason. I didn't even see these pictures either. What the heck? Even in Splatlands, Inklings seem devoted to the popular pastime of Turf War. The basic rules appear unchanged. 2 teams of 4 compete, blah, blah, blah. We know this. Taking their battles into the surrounding wilds of nature. Huh. That's an interesting line at the end. The denizens of Splatsville appear to have taken their battles into the surrounding wilds of nature. Could we be seeing some sort of battle royale? What do you guys think of that? Hi, PHCP. Good to have you. This last line has to mean something. Click on the picture. I'm trying to see if these pictures graphics are better than Splatoon 2. It does seem to be high, like more high definition, but it's also not the actual game that we're going to be seeing yet. Oh no, James is talking about Battle Royale. Everyone... I'd love that, TBH. Dude, me too! You can see Tenta missiles in that picture too. This one here? Or is it the next one? Hey, there's a charger over there on the left side. Oh, they showed that before anyway, because it's right here in this picture. What an interesting shot. Huh. They brought back the Inkzuka. They did. I'm pretty happy about that. Even though in the scrolls, it was supposedly banned. Well, maybe they can unban it. I hope so. I think they mean that the maps are more rough and low budget, as they aren't as civilized. I don't know, because in in the top it says, even in the Splatlands, Inklings seem devoted to their popular pastime, Turf War. We know what Turf War is. The basic rule appears unchanged. 2 teams of 4 compete to ink most of the ground. However, the denizens of Splatsville appear to have taken their battles into the surrounding wilds of nature. But maybe you're right. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I hope not. But if they didn't do a battle royale, All right, I think that's it on here, right? Yeah. Yep. Let's go back into here, see if there's anything we missed. Ahaha, we see the Paris thing. We've all seen that. She's holding the bow. They're out in this area walking around doing something. The train's coming. She's sitting on the train, which I'm sure is the same train from the Octoling expansion. She's sitting on it. This guy is just trashed out of his mind. The new lobby. The new hub. Someone on Twitter was theorizing about society being so demolished that bringing back the Angzuka was necessary to fight against the new weapon. Huh. You'd have to have so many colors for a BR to even work. Actually, that's interesting that you bring that up. I'd love to see a battle on the upside down Eiffel Tower where you fall off if you aren't careful. So I thought this, when I first saw this, I thought it was Ankopolis Plaza. Or is it Square? Square's the one in Splatoon 2. I can't remember. The Splatoon 2 one. But then I noticed that that wasn't the case. Giant pig. She's looking around. I don't see too many new costumes or hairstyles here, though they did show them before. One in the very left corner. She's looking around. There's the sky. There's the battle lobby right in the back. You have to take a good amount of stairs to get up there, huh? Where's the great Zapfish, though? Very interesting. You're right. Where is the great Zapfish? Yeah, they're probably purposely trying to not show us any extra things. There looks like there's a shop on the left there. And Splatoon 3. Once I go through this, I want to show you guys one thing that maybe you haven't seen before, but maybe you have. Do you think the City of Chaos has anything to do with Chaos being the winning team of the final Splatfest? Oh, I'd be surprised if it didn't have anything to do with that, because they already based Splatoon 2's single-player story off of the winnings of Callie versus Marie. Ammonite is a staple that must stay. I agree. We need Sheldon to talk his butt off to us about all the weapons he has. Here's the thing Richard was trying to show us before. Nothing too out in the open. Let me just keep going here. So they show the squid roll here. Hold on. Can I play this in slow motion? Check it, dude. Let's turn the volume down on that a little bit. Actually, let's just turn it off. Oh, he did the roll there. Oh, I didn't notice that before. He did the other roll. He went up and shot the guy. Oh, did you guys see that? Now that I'm slowing it down, we can really take a look at how some of these weapons work. Look at the bow. Well, once it gets here. That has got to be like in the same class almost as a charger or something. Yeah, this is definitely more run down and cluttered, as if luxury isn't much of an option since I don't play the game. I just assumed those weird theme battles like mustard and ketchup weren't serious. This ink does not have the right to look so good. Yeah, there were 3 shots that went together. And then there's the roll. Oh, the person was trying to shoot them with an arrow in the back. So there's the shot, and then the person behind is trying to shoot them with the arrow. So the arrow has a light on it, just like the chargers do. Jump up, roll, and kill that thing. Whoa, what was that? Hold on. Let's slow this down. There's the roll. There's the jump. Okay. See where the light is in the back? When it changes to the next scene or goes around it, there's these 3 giant bubble things. I've never noticed that. Okay, they're going up. They got the... What? That's the ink... That's the ink Zuka? What? What the heck is that? That is so strange. There's the ink Zuka. Okay, we got the dynamo, we got the bow. They're coming in, putting ink down. Okay, they're just showing off thingies. I love the camera angle on that. It's so funny. The new splatter shot. I like those glasses. And then whatever he was holding. The giant Hydra. And then this thing. I wonder if that is a special. And then it walks. I'm curious about that special that looks like a multi-raid stinger. Yeah, I wonder how they did that. Okay, it shoots 3 weird shots. That thing literally a crab droid from Star Wars. All right. I want to talk about what I would like to see in Splatoon 3. I think Splatoon in general is, I've said before, just a masterpiece of a game on paper. But there's things about Splatoon 2 that I think they missed. They didn't do well, and I most of you probably know what I'm referring to only because I bring them up every second of the day. But I want to do just a very brief review of Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2, and then into Splatoon 3, what I would like to see. And I would like to hear your guys' inputs and what you would like to see of Splatoon 3. So Splatoon 1. When Splatoon 1 came out, I did play the, what's it called? What was it called? The beta. What was the beta called? I cannot remember. The test fire. That's what it was. That's the first time I heard it. And every time I would go on the Wii U shop, the Splatoon music would play. This was before the test fire even began. And I remember the Splatoon music playing and thinking, what the heck is this? This sounds such like an odd sound music piece, I guess. And I didn't know that would actually become one of my favorite Splatoon songs, probably for nostalgic reasons and because I love that genre of music. But I'm going to play this slowly in the background so we can kind of watch it while autoplay is off. How do I also, can I like, hold on. I'll do this. There we go. Well, honestly, because I would like to make a video about this, so I don't know if we're going to be allowed to show this in the background. Maybe we will if I play it really slow. Anyways, so when Splatoon 1 came out, I did play the test fire. I've heard about it from either on the Wii U eShop or the we went to a store for some reason. I think we went to GameStop for whatever reason. This was before it came out, obviously. And I think they were like promoting it a lot at GameStop. And so when I was just very interested, I had no clue what I was getting into. And when I played the first test fire, I fell in love with the game. I remember thinking, like, since Splatoon is so unique, your first experience with the game is very interesting. And maybe you guys felt the same way I did. But when I first started playing the game, first of all, using motion controls to shoot was very weird. And I didn't know if I would like it at first. And the fact that you could shoot things like the ground, the fact that you could shoot the ground and it mattered and you didn't have to shoot people, that it felt so good to have something to do when there were no enemies around. And the concept of the turf war was very unique and very fun. And so I like gathered all of that from the test fire, and it was such a fun game. When the test fire was over, they announced another test fire, or said there was another one coming up. And at that point, I was so excited. And during the test fire, there was Salt Spray Rig and Walleye Warehouse. And I loved both of those maps. I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but I loved both of those maps. They were a lot of fun. And getting used to the motion controls was a lot of fun. And once I got used to them, it was a lot of fun. Just shoving the music into the shop to promote a big new IP. That's exactly what they did. The music is good. I would love it if there were hairstyles based on different types of squids, like a vampire squid having large sickles on its suckers. Magnapinas? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I think there might be a test fire Splatoon 3. Oh, yeah, there will be. I forgot how I got into Splatoon 1, but I know I would play the original on a copy from the library until I got it for Christmas in 2015 or 16. Yeah, I think in... Okay, I see what you're saying. Anyways, so... Whoops. So when the game came out, I played the crap out of that game. I loved everything about the game. I think that Splatoon 1 was basically, it was almost a 10 out of 10 for me. It was one game that just, it came out in my adulthood. It was a new Nintendo IP, and I could not believe how much fun I was having. And I think a lot of you, from what I remember, because a lot of us here who are in the chat now played Splatoon 1 a lot on stream and off stream before Splatoon 2 came out. And Splatoon 1 was a game that I loved everything about, because not only was the art style super awesome, the music, I loved the music. The music appealed to me so much because it was like this weird punk rock style, and I love that. I've said it before, and I said it earlier. The game was truly a masterpiece to me. It was an amazingly new idea, what they did with it. The movement was so awesome. How you could hide in and move in your own ink, climb up walls. It was just such a unique and amazing take on a third-person shooter. Me having thought a Wii U 3 years after its release being late to the Splatoon craze. I really love the world of Splatoon. Me having a Splat 1 disc broke. Oh yeah, I remember that. So many aquatic animals anthropomorphized in really creative ways. You're right. And I'm trying to think of some of the maps that didn't come back. Like Flounder Heights never came back in Splatoon 2, but I really liked that one. Gosh, I think my least favorite map from Splatoon 1 was the museum. I hated that map, and I don't remember why. I think it was all the moving platforms and the mid area where you would go up a ramp, and then in the middle was those spinning platforms, I think, and then you'd go down the ramp on the other side, and it was hard to maneuver. And I felt like it was always unranked. And Splatoon 1 was the game that I grinded a lot. I think I got to... I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I ever got to S+. I know many have gotten there. Many people I know have gotten to S+. But I don't think I ever reached it. But I did grind my butt off for that game. Dang. And Andres used to play that game a lot too. In fact, me and Andres would play, before we even made Erickson Gaming, we would play, I think, ranked together. I can't remember if you could do that. You couldn't play ranked right away with each other, but later I think they allowed it. I could be wrong though. But we used to play together on that game all the time. We would, because I was so competitive, and we have somewhat of a history of getting very angry with competitive video games. There were moments where I would get so furious because of how competitive I am with this game. But what am I trying to say? Overall, Splatoon 1 it quickly became one of my favorite Nintendo games of all times. I think that's funny because it was new and it doesn't typically happen. And if I had to rate Splatoon 1 by itself, it would probably be like almost a 10 out of 10. I'm trying to think of what wouldn't make it a 10 out of 10 as a game by itself. Because the motion controls were so snappy. They were so good. And I think the fact that Nintendo didn't even think about making it on a dedicated server might not make me think that it was 10 out of 10, but at the same time, it was a new IP, and they're not really trying to go for like the esports pro team yet. That changes with Splatoon 2, and I'll explain why. Oh, like alien-looking squids? They have elbows with like 30-foot tentacles drooping down that look like they continue to go down forever. What the heck? Magna Pinas are terrifying. I need to look this up real quick. Magna Pinas? Hold on. Let me do this elsewhere just in case. Magna Pinas squid. Oh my goodness. Ew. Let me just change this real quick so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Oh! I've never seen this before. It's kind of gross. Anyway. Hold on. So Splatoon 1, it was pretty close to a 10 out of 10. I'd say like a 9.9, I think. And then Splatoon 2 came out. And I was ready for Splatoon 2 because I love Splatoon 1. And I think by the time Splatoon 1 came out, by the time Splatoon 2 was coming out, there were a couple things on my mind about the first game that I wanted different. And there weren't much. I mean, of course, I wanted them to add new maps. I wanted them to keep the same core gameplay, which they did, and I was happy about that. I didn't want them to change it up too much because the core of the PvP style that Splatoon brought into the world was already great. And so I didn't want them to change anything about the core gameplay mechanics, and they didn't. But I think by that time I was sick of pressing the map screen on the gamepad. The gamepad was such a good device for specific games. I think Splatoon 1 was one of them. I did like pressing the map to super jump over to something. But I was kind of getting sick of how big it was when it came to playing competitively. And I kept accidentally pressing the map with my thumb so that the Inkling would just super jump, maybe like especially when I didn't want to. The Inkling would super jump to wherever I had accidentally pressed the map. And so I wanted to see if it would do well on just a regular controller. And when Splatoon 2 was announced, they showed us that it was going to be on a new controller. So then Splatoon 2, the test fire came out. And this is when my concerns began. Because during the Splatoon test fire, that's when a lot of people started realizing, like, why are the graphics so weird? I think it was like on 720p at that point. The resolution got better later. But, why is this stopped? I just realized. The resolution was weird, so some of us were a little concerned, like, is this Switch not able to push at least 900p for this game? And I think during the test fire, that is when the motion controls for Splatoon 2 were the worst. Hi, Rhea. Okay, not gonna lie, Magnapinas sound like a word you were using to try and bait James into saying something inappropriate. I almost thought the same thing. If only ARMS had more content so that it would have become one of the greats like Splatoon. I felt like they ruined that game by having the arm getter minigame give every fighter same arms. Yeah, ARMS is a completely different story. I could go on about probably why it's not where people would like it to be. But this isn't about ARMS, we're just talking about Splatoon. I'm going to go back to the motion controls because the motion controls were one of the biggest things that hurt me when it came to Splatoon 2 because they were so snappy, so crisp in Splatoon 1. And when the test fires for Splatoon 2 came out, lots of people were saying, what is wrong with the motion controls? And I'm not saying everyone felt that. I'm talking about the people who grinded their butt off in Splatoon 1. They could tell. They could tell that the motion controls were bad. And when I say bad, I mean there was definitely a good amount of input delay. So that it was less about skill and more about just predicting, okay, is the enemy going to be here? I have to get my crosshair ready. Or you just can't react fast enough when there's a delay in any game. Fighting games too. This is why Super Smash Bros. Online is a problem. But we're not talking about Smash. So that was the first thing. The resolution and the motion controls. Everything else was really cool. I did like the Splatoon 2 music at first. The first song they ever showed us off with was very good. I enjoyed that. And then we had the next test fire was a Splatfest, I think. Unless the Splatfest was separate. I can't remember. But they had the cupcakes. Cupcake or cake? Was it? Cupcake or ice cream? Cake or ice cream? I can't remember. What was I saying? Okay, so it was a Splatfest. And I remember when that came out, people noticed, okay, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. The Splatfest, the motion controls were eh. The resolution was okay. But there was still concern there. And then the game released. Actually, right before the game released. I don't know if any of you guys followed that SRB2 dude. But I'd followed him for quite a while. Since the Splatoon 1 days. He's a professional Splatoon player. He plays in esports tournaments and stuff like that. And what am I saying? Before Splatoon 2 came out, I think that SRB2 dude got an early copy and played it. And he said that the motion controls were way better than the test fire. And so I took that, as I normally do. When anyone says anything, I just believe them right away. Just kidding. But when it came to this, I believed him because he's a professional. I took that as, okay, they fixed it. They fixed the motion controls. Then the game came out, and it was better than the test fire, but it definitely wasn't what I thought it would be. I just assumed that it was fixed and like Splatoon 1. It wasn't. I think that the Pro Controller, I think the motion device in the Pro Controller, after I did some research, isn't even the same as the one that was in the gamepad. The gamepad used some sort of gyro magnet thing that went with the Earth's magnet whatever. I don't even know. It was some device in the gamepad that made motion really, really good. And the Pro Controller doesn't have that. It still had delay. And I wanted to enjoy Splatoon 2 so much that I just tried to push past it. I tried to get used to it. Long story short, I never, ever, even today, I still never got used to the delay, the input lag in Splatoon 2 motion controls. Just because many of you know how much I complain about it. I'm just, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm very sensitive to input lag. I'm not saying Splatoon was stupid for having that input lag. I'm not saying that I know there's a lot of people that are like, what input lag? I don't see it. The motion controls don't bother me. That's fine. I'm not calling you guys stupid. I'm not calling you guys like incompetent. But for some reason, I am very sensitive to input lag when it comes to fighting games and shooters. And so to this day, I still have not got used to it. But it did get better. In the middle of Splatoon 2's life, Nintendo sent a patch to the Pro Controller. And after they sent that patch, the motion controls got a lot better. It's calling us dumb, JK. A gyroscopic sensor. It was I can't remember. I'd have to look it up again. Splatoon 2 music is pretty good. The two were separate dates. Are you talking about the Splatfest and the test fires? Anyways, there was a time in the middle of Splatoon 2's life that Nintendo sent a patch to the Pro Controller and the Joy-Cons, and the motion controls got a lot better. They didn't get perfect. They never ever got to where Splatoon 1 was, but they got a lot better. In fact, better enough for me to actually finally really enjoy myself with Splatoon 2, to kind of get my mind a little bit off the motion controls, because I would feel them every game and I hated it. So that was good. That was okay. Splatoon 2 maps were cool. They were all right. Splatoon 2 maps were different from Splatoon 1. I think they focused more on fairness with Splatoon 2. I think in Splatoon 2 they focused more on balance of weapons, balance of maps, which weapons is good. Balancing weapons in some cases is good, depending on how you balance them. I didn't really like the specials that much. Tentamissile was okay, but it didn't really take much skill. All you had to do was click on the heads of the Inklings, and then the missiles just go there. There wasn't much control over several of the specials, unlike Splatoon 1. I think Splatoon 1's specials were more exciting. I think they were more fun. While they were, in many cases, overpowered, Splatoon 1's specials were just fun. You had the Kraken. You went and just killed all these Inklings in front of you with the Kraken. You had the Killer Whale, dude. That was one of my favorites. I remember the first time I saw a Killer Whale, I was like, what the crap is that? And you had to get out of there, dude. When the Killer Whale got out, you had to run, dude. And that was exciting. And then the Inkzooka. Holy crap, dude. You just plowed people over with that. Splatoon 2, they did nerf the specials. And they were hard. Some of them were just, you didn't have as much control over them. They kind of just controlled themselves. I know the Stingray, after a while, did become more of the competitive special, because you had a little bit more control over that. The stamp is very interesting. I never used this stamp. When the stamp came out was around the time I stopped playing a lot of Splatoon 2, or at least stopped venturing into new weapons. The bubbler was weird. I never really liked playing that much, but it was okay. My point is, I felt that the Splatoon 1 specials were more fun. The maps were good, but the Splatoon 2 maps, and maybe you guys felt the same way, I don't know, there was less of a theme impact on the map. There were definitely themes involved with the maps in Splatoon 2, but they had less of an impact on the map. And what I mean by that is, like, Flounder Heights. You remember Flounder Heights for having those 2 giant buildings in the middle, or 1 giant building. Salt Spray Rig, you had that really big, what was it called? I'm just gonna keep replaying this for you guys. You had that really big back middle place. It was so different in the areas in Salt Spray Rig. I'm trying to think of the other things. I mean, like, the mall one. How am I forgetting what the name of the mall was? That was my favorite map back in the day. Anyways, when they came over to Splatoon 2, they balanced them a little bit more. I think in Splatoon 2, when it came to the maps, they were trying hard to make them more fair and less gimmicky, which is funny because Nintendo's all about the gimmicks. And I think some of the maps in Splatoon 2 kind of lost some charm because of that. That's how I felt about it, but let me just kind of see what you guys are saying about all that. Now we have Splat 3's mini killer whales. Are those the little things that you're talking about? Less dynamics, gimmicks. Not gonna lie, the Octo expansion is probably one of my favorite DLCs of all time. I really liked it too. There's also the long Hammerhead Bridge. Ah, I forgot. I forgot about that map. I loved that map and hated that map. Because when you had that map on rotation, you definitely had to make sure that you either did not go on the bridge or you had at least some run speed up. Mahi Mahi Resort. Yes! The changing water levels, dude. They were so much fun. I think you still have the vid at a slower playback speed. Yeah, I did that on purpose just in case because I kind of want to take separate sections of this live stream and make them as videos. And I think that if they see too much of the same video at the same speed, then they'll copyright it and you can't make money off of it. So, but yes, Mahi Mahi Resort. Gosh, I really liked that map. I loved playing Splat Zones on that map. Anyways, Splatoon 2, they did add one new ranked mode. Clam Blitz was okay. I think most people felt that Clam Blitz was just okay. I've never heard of anyone loving Clam Blitz more than the other ranked modes. So if you feel that way, let me know. I would like to know why you like Clam Blitz more than the other ranked modes. I'm very interested to see if anyone has a strong opinion about that. There's also the one split in the middle with a ramp leading to the other side. What was that? Why does that sound so familiar? I don't even remember. Let's take a look real quick. Hold on. Splatoon 1 maps. Alright, we had Salt Spray Rig, Flounder Heights, Mahi Mahi Resort. Trying to find the one that you were talking about. I forgot actually about the first map that you play on in the test fire. Not this one. I just saw it. Where is it? I didn't mean to click on this. Where is it? I just saw it. I don't even remember what it was called. No. I swear I just saw it, but I forgot. There's also the one, yeah, okay. Honestly, I was somewhat excited when it showed that rural deserted area, but then I just was confused when they were straight to the city. Why do you think they even showed that area? Yeah, I bet you it has something to do with the campaign. Yeah, I can't even find the map that I was thinking of. But the very first map that you play in Splatoon 1 is uber nostalgic. There it is. Doesn't say the name though, but that's it right there. Oh, this is a mod. This is Splatoon 2, but in the old map, kinda. Huh. Anyway. What was I saying? All right, Splatoon 2. Just gone over the maps. Let me just continue from here. Salmon Run was super cool. Glad they added it. I think that they could do more with the Salmon Run, but from what they had, Salmon Run was a lot of fun, and it kept you playing because I think the rewards that you got from Salmon Run were really good because they got you a butt ton of coins, dude. So that you could go buy new clothing. And that was good. I like that. 30,000 coins for doing one game. Hey, I'm okay with that. You could probably farm more coins doing Salmon Run than you could for, like, I think ranked, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to think of what else in Splatoon 2 is worth even talking about before I get into one giant problem with Splatoon 2 that I want them to change for Splatoon 3. We had the new maps. We talked about the music. The music was good at the beginning, but as Splatoon 2 kept going and they added more music, it just got really poppy, and I'm just not into that. I did enjoy the music that, at least half of the music that Marina and Pearl put out. The song for the Splatfest was really good. The Splatfest, they took what they got from Splat 1 and just added on to it for Splatoon 2. I'm all about that. They had a really good concert in there. The song was really nice. Some other songs that they put out were really cool. I think Ebb and Flow was one of them that I really liked. Let us play Shifty Stations when they come out. What? Splatfests. They built onto Splatfests by adding unique Splatfest stages. I thought that was super cool. Let's see what else. They added on to the training area. That was good. Single player was good. I enjoyed single player. I didn't think it was too much like Splat 1. It was very similar, but I think the fact that they added many missions where you could use different weapons was a good call. The DLC, adding Octolings was awesome. Lots of people wanted to play as Octolings, and it added to the lore. And I found the lore to Splatoon very interesting. Trying to think of what else. I think the way they did the Octo expansion single player was very nice. I'm glad they changed the music. I'm glad they changed the setting. I'm glad they changed it from how they did the single player stuff. From the single player regular campaign, they made it into like tons of different puzzles and I don't know, stuff like that. It was fun. It was great. Very good addition. Glad they did it. The story was pretty good. Who would even be the guide in Splatoon 3's campaign? That's an interesting question. Before I talk about another thing I did not like about Splatoon 2, I'm trying to remember other things. I was sad to see that Squid Jump was not back. So much time playing Squid Jump while waiting for a match. But the Squid Beats was super cool. I enjoyed doing Squid Beats. It was in the, for those of you guys who don't know what it is, I'm sure most of you do, Squid Beats was in as an arcade machine in the lobby or the hub. The clothing, the gear that they brought in, you know, it's what you expected, more gear. They tried to balance a lot of the abilities that the gear had. It's just what you expect. Yo, I forgot about Squid Jump. Yeah, Squid Jump. Until literally right when you mentioned it. Yeah, I missed that. Why are there so few people in this? That's just how our live streams go. That's what happens when you're very inconsistent as a YouTuber. No one comes in and tries to... I say no one, though. We've got a good amount of people here. I'm glad you guys are here. Helps me think through it, getting some feedback. It's nice. Okay, so the gear... Actually, the way they changed re-rolling for gear abilities, from what I remember, I haven't done it in a long time because I stopped playing Splatoon 2 competitively a while back, but I remember that when you re-rolled gear with the Super Sea Snails, or Sea Snails or whatever, I loved the way they did it this time. It made it easier to get what you wanted. Not easy, but easier. I think back in Splatoon 1, it was really hard. But besides those things, I think that was basically it. I missed the single player, the local multiplayer game from Splatoon 1. If you guys remember that, it was shoot all the balloons. I only played that with Lori a couple times, and I think I played it with Andres a couple times. But the local multiplayer game on Splatoon 1, where it was 1v1, whoever sprayed the most balloons wins, I loved that. And it would have been so awesome if they had brought something like that back to Splatoon 2, but they didn't. I don't know why. Maybe they thought no one liked it. I don't know. But all in all, there were two major things that really hurt Splatoon 2 for me. Because I, as I said before, loved Splatoon 1 and Splatoon as a franchise. But besides the motion controls, the online was really bad. In fact, after doing research, because I was so annoyed by this, after doing research, I found out that Splatoon 2's online, the ability to connect to other consoles, was worse than Splatoon 1. I think Splatoon 1 had a tick rate of 24 hertz, if I'm not mistaken. And that means that each console is sharing information with each other 24 times a second. Now, to put that in perspective, I think Overwatch, which is another multiplayer shooter, does 60 hertz a second, which most shooters should be at that level, around that level. Battle Royales are a little different because you got a butt ton of people on the map, so I think they do around 30 hertz on average, but shooters like Overwatch, for example, do 60 hertz, because you need to, for a competitive game, you need to share that information fast. Games like CSGO and Valorant do 128 hertz. And those games are super competitive. You need those hertz. You need that information to be shared amongst games, so that you actually have control over what's happening, and you can measure your skill instead of just random things the server's just trying to do when someone has crap internet and stuff like that. Another thing that I found out when I was so aggravated with Splatoon 2's online. So I said Splatoon 1 had 24 hertz. Splatoon 2 had 14 to 16. I think they started with 12 hertz a second, and then they bumped it up to 16, which is really bad for a third-person PvP shooter. It ended. Was so cool. We'll have to talk about that later, Richard. We haven't even started talking about Pokemon yet. let me try to just keep going here, and we'll end this, and we'll start talking about Pokemon. So Splatoon 2, not only did it have really bad hurts. I'm gonna keep playing this in the background. But there were no dedicated servers. And at the time, I didn't know really the importance of dedicated servers until I started researching why Splatoon 2's online was so bad. But most, if not all, competitive shooters have a server that all the players connect to, and you play on that server so that the game is more stable. What Splatoon 2 does is what fighting games do. It's peer-to-peer. There is no dedicated server. All the players were fighting off of each other's online and off of each other's console. So they're pinging back and forth. And fighting games, that's okay, because you kind of need that. You need peer-to-peer connection most of the time with fighting games. In a shooter, that is extremely unacceptable when you're playing competitively. And after a while, after a new Splatoon game comes out, the new gimmicks, you've had all your fun with the new gimmicks and all the new stuff. It's the people who love to compete, who stay and make the game what it is. And when you do not appeal to those who love to test their skill, you're gonna get some angry people. And there are no dedicated servers in Splatoon 2. So to try to make this brief, the online for Splatoon 2 and the motion controls is and the fact that some of it with the music and how the maps, it was a little more balanced, like almost too balanced in some areas with the weapons and the maps. Splatoon 1 was almost a 10 out of 10. Splatoon 2, for me, unfortunately, was probably almost an 8 out of 10. Maybe in the 7.5 range. And I wish it wasn't like that. So before we talk about Pokemon, I want to just briefly share what I would love to see in Splatoon 3. And while I'm talking, go ahead and tell me in the chat, because I am curious, the things that you would like to see different in Splatoon 3, and if you agree with me about the motion controls and the online. But in Splatoon 3, for me to not fall from my love for Splatoon, I think, and I'm hoping, because I'm hoping that there will be a Switch Pro by the time Splatoon 3 and Pokemon Arceus Legends comes out. I think that the only way that Nintendo can appeal to their diehard fans, those who not only love Splatoon as a franchise, but love to compete in third-person shooters and team shooters, hero shooters, you could even say. I think that they're going to need to up the ability of the Switch. I think that they are definitely going to have to add dedicated servers. They need to, because in Splatoon 2, when they advertised Splatoon 2, they had the audacity to add a video of pro esports teams playing Splatoon in an arena. And when you do that, you know who you're trying to appeal to. Competitive gamers, not only those who just love Splatoon because it's fun, but those who stay because it's competitive. And when you start playing a video of Splatoon in an esports arena, you start building expectations. Okay, they're going to treat this as a sport, almost. And they kind of did when it came to balancing weapons and stuff, which was good. But dedicated servers is so important. And the motion controls. I would love for them to redesign the Pro Controller when it comes to motion controls and have the Switch capable of providing less input lag when it comes to motion. If Splatoon 3 was very like Splatoon 1 and 2 when it came to theme, when it came to the game modes and stuff, I would be okay. Of course, if you add different maps add different gear. I mean, if they can change stuff for the better, if they can take what they did in Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 and build upon that, that would be best. When games build upon what they already have and not take out anything insignificant, it's great. But I think the most important things they need to do is they need to work on the servers. They have to put more hertz. They need a dedicated server. And I honestly think they need to get back to where the motion controls were for Splatoon 1. If they could do that, they would have a lot of people competing more and saying more about the game, I think. Other than that, I don't really have much to say about what I want in Splatoon 3. Those are the biggest things on my mind. Let me just read what you guys are saying about Splatoon 3 before we move on to Pokemon. Like I said, here's to hoping Nintendo fixes their online. Yeah, I heard that a lot of their online was running off a very, like an 18-year-old outdated thing. I don't know. It was trying to look for Windows 98 or something at some point. Mitchell's very excited for this game. Post Malone's actual voice is great, but the tone and beat of his music... Okay, that was the concert. They played it safe in 1 and 2. They may listen in 3 with the back into the ink. I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I brought up Magapinas and Vampire Squids because I would love more diversity and Inkling appearance and maybe even differing mechanics to make battling interesting and creative. That'd be interesting. I just hope you don't need to get the Super Switch to have a better experience. If they are gonna do what I think they're gonna do, I don't know. That's tough, Farrell. That's really tough. I don't know. I mean, if they can pull off a lot of that stuff on the regular Switch, I'd applaud them. Inky says I have very low standards, so anything they do will probably keep me very entertained, but if I had to request something, it would be fun offline game modes outside of the story. I agree. That's very good. That would be awesome. Especially local play, dude. Bring back local play, dude. If something that they could bring that would be so fun if they had a 4-player free-for-all local match. And I understand why a lot of games don't do that, because when you have local play, especially for shooters, the Nintendo Switch especially would tank. The FPS would tank so hard. But if they made a 4-player free-for-all game mode that was offline, or any free-for-all game mode for Splatoon that was offline local multiplayer, I would not care if they made the graphics look like Nintendo 64 to make that happen. I would be so for it. Get rid of the 3 sub slots for gear. Just have 1 main gear ability. Streamline it instead of people manipulating the 3 slots on gear. Maybe make the 1 ability stinger to make up for 3 slots. I see what you're saying there, because it takes a lot of grinding to get those 3 slots where you want it. But I don't think they'll take that out, because I know a lot of people spend a lot of time on that and actually like it. Shugget says, motion controls, better online multiplayer. Absolutely. Bring back local multiplayer. Yep. Good story, good maps, weapons, etc. Yes. Unrelated topic between Splatoon and Pokemon. I think you would like Hollow Knight, James. The combat is really simple, but also complex and takes a lot of skill to master. Maybe you could even stream. I've thought about Hollow Knight. I'm not sure. Maybe one day. There are other games that I spend my time on, but Hollow Knight has been in the back of my mind. Hollow Knight has been one of those games, but there's a lot of games on the list that I have to play. I also want some feature where maybe you could pick out 3 weapons before the game starts and you can switch between weapons, maybe at spawn. Maybe have a weapon that has damage and another for range. Dude, that would be actually really cool if you could switch weapons mid-game. I'd be up for that. I'm betting Splatoon 3 will be compatible with a new Nintendo Switch accessory. Perhaps. I'm hoping for some sort of battle royale, maybe relatively small, like 20 players, but that would be good for me. Dude, I'm all for it. I'd love that. That'd be great. Even, like you just said, like even just 20 players in a small arena, that would be amazing. Local play on 1 console, right? Yes, that's what I meant. Local play on one console. Oh, I thought James already started Hollow Knight. Oh, I don't remember ever starting Hollow Knight. I think if they were to say one thing, better matchmaking. Is the matchmaking really that bad? I haven't played ranked in probably over a year now. Like, when I say play, I mean I play ranked from time to time, and I played League with you guys, but I used to grind ranked a lot, and I just don't anymore, so I don't really have an opinion on the matchmaking at the moment. What if they made maps categorized in different modes, like maps based around tag, speed, increasing platformish ramp maps, maps based on maps where you must rely on sound instead of sight or light? Yeah, I mean, all of that is a very good idea. If more modes, that would be so much fun. I got paired with a top 500 player earlier. Wait, but Farrell, aren't you rank X? I guess you're right, though. I mean, that also depends. How many people are in rank X? Matchmaking is annoying in Splatfests. Yeah, the Splatfests are hard because at that point, no other game mode is available, and now you have, like Farrell said, top 500 people coming in to play Splatfests, unless some of them just don't care. They're probably scrimming. I've heard that during Splatfests, a lot of pro teams will scrim in private battles. Imagine if the effects of a player's weapons change the map layout, like a major hit causes a platform or area to be destroyed, like a map with boulders or columns collapsing. Like Fortnite! Just kidding. I'm happy with the S+ on my rank modes. I don't feel like grinding to X, even though I probably could even. The average power is 2400 while I was 2100. Okay. Well, I think there are a lot of things that we want to see with Splatoon 3. And Splatoon has still been running very strong. Even when Splatoon 2 came out, people loved it, dude. People still love the game. And I'm glad that Nintendo came out with a completely new IP. 2015, was it? And they killed it, dude. But in Splatoon 2, there were things about it that have me worried. I'm a little worried, but I'm hopeful. And this transitions right into Pokemon because I think that there are things about Pokemon Arceus Legends that I've wanted to see. So let's transition into Pokemon. Let me just tag in Discord real quick that we're switching to Pokemon. So if anyone wanted to talk about it. Hi, Farrell. All right, there we go. I don't know much about Fortnite, nor have I played it, but a game mode inspired by it would be pretty fresh. Yeah, we were talking about I mean, that would fall under Battle Royale, but I wonder if you mean the building and stuff. Okay, can we talk about the fact that Game Freak might make their first delay since Diamond and Pearl back in 2007? I mean, it's going to be hard to meet that early 2022 release window. Maybe. Are you talking about... I mean, which game are you referring to? Because they seem to have a good amount of gameplay so far for like being a year out, and we're early 2021 still. Let me go to the trailer because I do want to watch the trailer real quickly. Before I watch the trailer, I want to tell you something about my feelings on Pokemon briefly. So I'm trying to make this really brief because it's just funny how this trailer has answered some of my requests. But so I've played Pokemon straight when it came out. When Pokemon Blue, Red, Green. I mean, obviously I didn't really get Green because Green was in Japan. But when Blue and Red came out, I was like 7 or 8, and I purchased Pokemon Blue. It was extremely popular with my friends, and I loved the game. Loved it. Loved the crap out of it. Played the crap out of it. And then Pokemon Gold and Silver came out, and I played that so much too, dude. Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold, they took what was in Pokemon 1, or Blue and Red, and just built upon it, dude. And I loved it, dude. Pokemon Gen 3, I don't remember why I didn't get into it. I think by the time Gen 3 came out, my time was taken up with other games. And for some reason, I don't know why this was the case. This is definitely a Gen 1er problem, at least at the time. And a lot of Gen 1ers feel this way too, or feel this way. I don't feel this way anymore. But at the time I did. After Gen 2, when they started adding new Pokemon, I think I started feeling very attached to Gen 1 Pokemon. I think it's just because you get so used to 150 Pokemon, and then in Gen 2, a bunch of other ones came out. When Gen 3 came out, I think because there was way too many Pokemon, you stopped losing sort of the relationship you had with the 150, because now they're adding more. And I think that made me not want to play Gen 3, 4, and 5, which is a problem. I don't think that should, if you like the game mechanics of Pokemon, if you like how it's played out, I don't think disliking new Pokemon should be the reason why you don't play, but that's just my opinion. So that's probably what kept me from wanting to play more Pokemon back in the day. There are 898, I'm pretty sure, nowadays. But, so I played Pokemon Y when it came out. I loved it because it was the first 3D Pokemon game. I felt like it was the step in a good direction. And it did have a lot of nostalgic feel to it from Pokemon Red and Blue that I really enjoyed. And I think that's another reason why I enjoyed it. And it was my first Pokemon game in a very long time, so I loved that game, played the crap out of it. Even tried to breed Pokemon for competitive play. I bred a perfect Charizard. It was like the 5 IVs that Charizard needed. The 6th one was something that he never used, so a perfect IVs for the what were they called? The stats that you need. And then I bred him to have the like dragon, what was that move? I can't remember. There was a dragon flame move. I can't even remember what it was called. And then a bunch of other stuff. And I had like 2 Charmanders that were perfect. I tried to sell one on PayPal for $5 and no one bought it. But it took a lot of time, dude. It took a lot of breeding. So I even did that. When Pokemon Gen 7 came out, I didn't care because they took out gyms and stuff, and for some reason, Dragon Breath, I think it was. I think that might be. I can't remember. It was like one of the best dragon moves. It was a special move, not a physical one. Gen 7, I didn't like the theme, I think. I didn't like I didn't like that they took out gyms. And there were just some things that they moved away from that I didn't care for, so I just didn't play Gen 6 or Gen 7. Gen 8 for the Switch. I have a lot of problems with that one. I think it was way too easy, way too hand-holdy, way too similar to all the other Pokemon games. I think by Gen 8 there were tons of people, not all, but there was a good group of people that I fit in that were just tired with the copy and paste mechanics of Pokemon, and then it was so, you expect so much from Nintendo when it comes to bringing a game that's been on handheld for so long, and then when they bring it to the Switch, it's the same, maybe even worse in some cases. And I was just like, oh, this sucks. This game sucks, dude. I wanted to love it. There are some times where I find myself like, man, I want to play Sword and Shield, but it sucked. So I can't. And I remember getting to the point where I was like, they just need to, they need to do what they did with like Zelda and stuff. Like take a game that they made a long time ago and just keep updating it with the times. And I think a lot of Gen 1ers like myself, we played a lot of the first Pokemon. So at that point, you think, man, as technology furthers, they can do so much. They can make this world so explorative. Is that the word? They can flesh out the graphics, flesh out the battle mechanics. And they didn't. And so recently, I think last year, I got to the point where I was like, man, if they could put time and effort into this crazy, in-depth, explorative Pokemon world with more story, better battle mechanics. I wanted them to add an ATB to the battle. And obviously we're going to get to that with the Legends of Arceus and stuff. But there's some stuff in this trailer that we're about to watch that are a step in the right direction. And let me just read some of what you guys are saying right now before we watch this trailer. I think the animations for Pokemon are choppy because they're still the models and animations from all the way back in the 3DS games. Sorry, I have a headache now, so I'm trying to like block the light that I have here. But and they haven't been optimized for Legends Arceus yet. Yeah, that was something weird about the trailer. It's crazy how nostalgia affects how we view Pokemon. Personally, I find the majority of Gen 1 Pokemon really boring. Well, I mean, that totally makes sense, especially if you grew up with, like, Gen 3, 4, and 5. You got into Pokemon when they built up on top of a lot of stuff they did in Gen 1 and Gen 2. So, Gen 1 and Gen 2, if you go back to that, having never played it, it's going to be like the skeleton of Pokemon. But I think because Pokemon was so new back in the day, if you were there to play it, you remember how it felt. And there's nothing that can take that away. I feel sad when I hear that people didn't play Sun and Moon. And I think all Pokemon games of recent are soulless. Lily is the best character. And the idea domestic family abuse is the best. Wait, what? I don't... I'm lost. I'm sure maybe some of you guys know what he's talking about because I didn't actually play whatever that one was. What is ATB again? Oh, Richard said, yeah, active time battle. Kind of like the old Final Fantasy or Final Fantasy 7. I think maybe every Final Fantasy did this back in the day. Even the new ones do, where they have an ATB bar. Basically, you're timed on your actions and attacks instead of waiting for everyone's turn. Really? It still looked turn-based to me. Yeah, it did to me too, but then a tweet came out and said that it was ATB-based. Anyway, before we keep going, let's watch this trailer real quick. Let me just turn the music off again. And we will watch this once more.
This is a tale from a long, long time ago, when the Sinnoh region was still only a vast
So
wilderness.
this is like super prequel Pokemon.
A certain village bustled with the comings and goings of people, while in the mountains and
Maybe they're
seas,
starting to trying to
Pokemon
start
roamed as they
over
pleased.
to see what they can do with this style of gameplay. Yeah, so right off the bat, the graphics are similar in ways to Sword and Shield. The resolution's not great, but I think this is to be expected, at least for now. I mean, this looks good to me for now. The fact that she's dodging is weird. Why do they have to dodge? I hope there's a reason. And the Pokemon are just kind of standing there, so I'm hoping that's just for the gameplay. There's a lot of land in the back there. So get ready for Garchomp to cut you in half. This is very interesting too because Arceus is supposed to be like the creator Pokemon, right? The Pokemon of all Pokemon, I guess. I don't know. Early 2022. Yeah, I don't. They're gonna have to put a butt ton of work in, I think. Let me just have that playing in the background once again like we did before. Here we go. Okay. So, I think that we might have something here. This is the first time where Pokemon, they finally, I've been wanting an open world Pokemon. I've been wanting one to explore. Apparently they're adding ATB. This could be the start of something new. This could really be the start of something new for those who've been wanting an open world Pokemon for so long. And I don't know. There wasn't much. There was only very little, I think, from the trailer that we could go off, but we could definitely start being hopeful. I see you guys saying stuff about it here. But yeah, I really think you should check out Sun and Moon. James, you're really missing out. I think at this point, it's hard for me to even go back to the 3DS anymore. If they ever remade it, maybe. They say you can dodge because Pokemon can attack you directly. That's right, I forgot. When you run out of Pokemon, the Pokemon attack you. It's so cool that they're changing. They're just, with this game, they're changing the recipe of Pokemon. This is what I've wanted. And so far, if this is super early footage, it still looks like I like the way the movement look. I like the way the running animations look. You can see this vast area. The grass is moving. I think that it has so much potential. If they left it just like this, I think we'd have problems. Because it's pretty empty and the Pokemon are just standing there. But if they could build upon what they've showed us in this trailer, we could have something here. I've heard they have to dodge because Pokemon will attack you. Yeah, okay. I don't know if this is a diff timeline, but even these Pokeballs shouldn't exist. Are they throwing out the whole lore because apricorns being turned into Pokeballs? Yeah, isn't that how they used to do it? I think they said a long time ago. So I think that this is like super early, like in the area of origins of Pokemon, maybe. And if they could build on top of that, like if this does really well and then they build on top of that, like from Origins beyond, they might have something. They might have something. I don't want to run from a land shark, thank you. The next few games might fix it up a lot, maybe add a stamina and climbing style of play, similar to Breath of the Wild. I guess if that was needed, I just hope they don't like try to cheat off of Breath of the Wild's paper. I hope they go their own way for good reasons. Brownie points for finally a new stupid logo. Wait, what? Shadow brings up a good point. Many Pokemon fans passionately hate how much the Pokemon Company tries to drag in old fans by milking every last drop out of Gen 1 nostalgia. I'm so happy they aren't giving Gen 1 special love. Yeah, I heard that a lot of people were happy that Charizard or Charmander wasn't even a starter in this one. Which is fine. I mean, I would rather have Pokemon change up their mechanics and create good gameplay instead of bringing back Gen 1 Pokemon all the time. In case you missed my comment from a second ago, unless Sinnoh is diff, or this is a different timeline, a Game Freak is breaking their canon by having Pokeballs instead of Apricorns, because those were the first Pokeballs. Well, if that's the case, I think that this is, if they don't break lore, which I'm assuming they won't do, these are probably the Pokeballs that were first made after they used Apricorns, which is weird to think about. Because how the frick do you fit a giant Pokemon in an Apricorn? Or whatever. Whatever you just said. Apricorn. So, if I had to guess, this is probably the origins of when, like, Pokemon training had already been developed, and now, like, this is the beginning of, okay, we created the Pokeball and stuff like that. Pokemon is no stranger to multiple timelines. Did they have multiple timelines? I wouldn't know. Maybe Professor Oak just made the first modern Pokeball? Was he one of the first? At this rate, there may be more timelines than pre-Breath of the Wild Zelda. Does Game Freak even care about timelines? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. The important question is Cyndaquil, Rowlet, or Oshawott? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking Cyndaquil because I love Gen 2. But Rowlet and Oshawott I thought were good picks as well for this game. Roaming around with an enigmatic archer. I'm very dumb. Well, if you look at the starter part of the trailer, you can see more modern or a building in the back, and Japan was still in its old state in the 16th and 17th centuries. It could be technically then in modern era. I do like the Pokeball designs. I do think they're really cool. You and Navi can pick between the other two. Rowlet 100%. Yeah, it gets into Quill then. Oh, you guys talking about Navi, Drew, and Feral? How does Cyndaquil fit in with the other two? Well, what do you mean? Isn't it fire, water, and grass? Is there a better fire starter than Cyndaquil? Torchic, in Navi's opinion. I mean, of course I'm going to say Charmander because I do have a nostalgic relationship with Gen 1 Pokemon. I still am technically a Gen 1er. So if Charmander was in, I would definitely pick him, but I think the starters that they picked for this game were good for me, in my opinion. The archer, the samurai, and the volcano. Oh, that's what you meant. Because Rowlet's an archer. Oshawott basically turns into a samurai. Oh my gosh, you're right. Cyndaquil. I don't know. Also, a YouTuber made note that the pro tags of this game have an old Team Galactic logo on their arms of their outfits, and the prof room has a flag with the logo on it. Is this the original? The origin? Team Galactic. I'm not familiar with them. Are they good guys or bad guys? I suppose Score Bunny might pass as a ninja, but meh. That's right, I picked Score Bunny for what was it? Gen 8. Anyway, to continue about this game, there isn't really much to say. I think that one other thing that held Gen 8 back was the weird graphic stuff. I honestly don't believe that they put enough time to make Gen 8 truly what it could have been. And I hope they change that with this game. I think, as I said, that this game has a lot of potential, and I hope they build on what we saw. And like I said with Splatoon 3, I would love to see a good version of this game on a better console. But we'll see. We've got to wait till 2022. We still can imagine what the online might be like, what the PvP might be like. So, yeah. Team Galactic is the evil team of Diamond and Pearl. Cyrus wanted to erase the universe and create one without emotion because his grandparents never spent any time either with him or love. Oh my gosh. He had no emotion. Game Freak and Pokemon Company has a strict time schedule and stick to it like glue. Yeah, I wish they wouldn't. Hopefully, maybe they'll treat this one differently. Because I'm guessing the Sinnoh remake is in place of like a regularly scheduled Pokemon game, right? We're getting to the end here. I don't have much more to say about this. I'm just very hopeful, and I think this is a step in the right direction for the type of game I would like to see. And I know a lot of people have been waiting for more open world, exploration type Pokemon game, and I hope this. I hope it does well, because I'll be playing it. But let's look at the Sinnoh remake trailer together, real quick. Where's the one from Nintendo? Oh, here it is. Let me just turn this music off real quick. I did not play this version. I'll tell you that right now. I kind of would like to hear your brief thoughts on this game as we watch it here. Oopsies. Hold on. Link's Awakening, but Pokemon. I mean, I've heard so many people wanted to finally get a remake of this. I was actually surprised that they didn't use the same graphics as Let's Go, but I guess people would be confused. If they saw those graphics, they would think, is this another Let's Go? Which, don't get me wrong, I liked the Let's Go. But I do think the player models in this game are so funny. Late 2021. So this is like, this is gonna be this is gonna take place of a regularly scheduled Pokemon game for this year, I'm assuming. Gen 4 Remix looks nice. I was never extremely hyped for them, but I like them. I don't mind the chibi, unlike many others. They usually plan 3 games in advance, but the stated that they are focusing on this one alone. They stated, oh, okay. So the Arceus one is is being produced or developed by a different company. Am I right? I would have preferred they went with the same style as Gen 3 remakes, but I'm alright. I'm kind of alright with the chibi art style, but I don't get why, though, Farrell says. Yeah, it's very funny to me. It's very different. I don't think they've ever done anything like that before. Like, the specific... It's very toy-like. Like, it almost looks like a kid's toy. The hands and eyes are too detailed for the chibi style of the overworld. I like the remakes and all, but seeing the trailer made me realize that even though Gen 4 was my first, I actually don't like it at all that much. Huh. I hate the concept of straightforward remakes since they have nothing new whatsoever. People love remakes because they interpret the world in a more detailed way than before when it was on weak hardware. Brayden, I think I'm with you on that. Honestly, I think it would have been better to call this a remaster of the old game if it's the same exact game but just graphically been upgraded. I think that what you're talking about, a good example of what you're talking about, is Final Fantasy VII Remake. I wish that all remakes, this is wishful thinking, but I wish that all remakes would do what Final Fantasy VII did. I feel like this is more of a remaster edition rather than a remake. I mean, did they even call it a remake? They probably did, right? So a game that looks identical to the original shows no progress in technological advancement, but I still like it. Yeah, agreed. Oh, Game Freak is making Legends of Arceus. Ooh. Well, I hope they do a good job. Well, we don't know if they added anything yet. Yeah, that's right. You're right. Gen 3 remakes had a whole new story. Okay. Remakes, remasters, reboots, it's all confusing. Well, there are differences. Remakes are like they're making the game again. They took what they had and they're remaking it with better graphics, better in-depth story, or like they're fleshing the game out more in a remake. Remaster is kind of like they made the game, but they kind of remastered the tech, the graphics, and stuff like that. They didn't really add to the story or the gameplay mechanics, but they made it look better and feel better. A reboot is like they took the game and completely changed like almost the direction, or they took the story, I guess. So I guess a reboot would be like they took the idea and went like a completely different direction with art and stuff like that, if that makes sense. At least that's how I've always seen it. You can loop the video, by the way. Yeah, I thought I could do that. I don't loop. Thank you, Farrell. I completely forgot how to do that. Yeah, I love the Pokemon remakes, but this is a straightforward remake. Or remaster or whatever. I'm looking forward to Splatoon 3. Oh, me too. New FNAF game is pretty much a reboot. Yeah, see, I think that's a good example of a reboot. If it's, I mean, is that like the origin of the FNAF story? Is that what they're going for? The gaming community could butchered the words remake and remaster. Yeah. My final thoughts on this game. I'm glad that they did what a lot of people were looking for. I've heard that a Sinnoh remake is probably one of the, or remaster or whatever, was one of the ones that was left out, I guess. Lots of people wanted to see this remastered or remade. I'm assuming there are lots of people that are happy with this, and there are lots of people like, I kind of wish there was something different, but I'll play it. for now. It's technically a continuation, but also a clean slate. Okay. Watch Legends Arceus become the new Gen 1 for later things to expand on. If so, because I'm wondering if that's the case, I hope they do it well. Besides all that, I don't honestly know if I'll play this game, just because I didn't play it before, and I'll probably I play a lot of video games, and I'll probably give that time to other games, but it's cool that they did it. That's all I have to say about that. Pokemon in general, I think that we're gonna. I hope we see a new thing with the Pokemon Arceus Legends. I'm very hopeful for that. I'm skeptical, but hopeful. Do you plan on getting Legends at least? Definitely. Before I go, that is the end of the Pokemon part. I think there was something else I wanted to talk about before this, but I can't remember. I'm going to end this with a very brief statement about a game that many of you have never heard about before. I'm just kidding. This is probably... I just want to talk quickly about one game that I know when I mention it, people are going to run. But please listen to my brief statement on the game. We're going to talk about Fortnite for a second. Just for a second. So if you used to play Fortnite and have never played Fortnite, just listen to what I'm about to say. Also, if you stopped playing Fortnite, I'm curious as to why. Because there's really good reasons why, and there's other reasons why not to and stuff. I just love Fortnite, so I play it from time to time, but there are things about it that I wish they would change. And anyway, if Fortnite got too crazy for you, if it got too sweaty for you, I do very highly recommend trying out. Like, if you uninstalled the game for reasons because the game just got too sweaty, I definitely recommend for a brief time. Yeah, not beginner friendly. That is a huge criticism that Fortnite gets nowadays. It is not beginner friendly. It's not casual friendly, and I wish it was. And I was hoping some things I think they need to do is they need to get on a casual game mode with more lives and less building. And if you stopped playing Fortnite because it's too sweaty and it's not user friendly, I recommend at least installing it again for a brief amount of time and trying out the new limited time mode called Comeback. Because there are 40 players. It is the Battle Royale, but you have 5 lives. You have 5 lives when on your first life, you have gray weapons. On your second life, you have green weapons. Third, blue. Fourth, purple. Fifth, gold. And the fact that you have lives, Inky, thanks for sticking around. The fact that you have lives makes you able to get in faster, and keep playing. And I've played a couple times, and I gotta tell you, I've had a lot of fun. It's probably one of the best limited time modes they've come out with thus far, and I'm hoping that testing it out for future casual friendly game modes. So if you used to like Fortnite and you stop playing because it's a sweat fest, then I suggest that you try out the Comeback mode. Watch people kill themselves just to get better weapons. Well, the more you kill yourself, the less lives you have. So if you can do good with the first gray weapons, then you good. Oh. Everyone has forgotten about the confirmed successor to Detective Pikachu, whether it be Detective Pikachu 2 or Definitive Edition. I'm surprised it wasn't shown in that present. Yeah, it's probably going to be announced when they do Pokemon Sleep. Anyway, I have a headache. So I'm going to go. But I thank you all for joining. It has been a nice time of discussion. I'm glad. I was actually really glad to get out a lot of my thoughts again about Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2. I do want to turn that into a separate video on its own because I've wanted to just get my thoughts about both of those games because Splatoon is one of my favorite franchises, and I just want to kind of get a brief review out there so at least I know I have my thoughts on the games on the internet where we put our stuff. So we will probably try to do more of these types of streams in the future. It's very chill. I like instead of like making a video where I'm talking to nobody at the time, I like doing them live. It's just better, and then you get feedback and you can have a discussion. So anyways, thanks for joining. Have a good night, and that's it. That's all I really have to say. There's nothing more than that. Have a fun time. Go play a video game. Eat some pizza, okay? I guess. Be healthy. Exercise if you need to. Anyways, bye-bye. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Bye.